Welcome to my digital presentation. My presentation is on can collaborative learning be used to raise achievement. The computer curriculum has moved from functional ICT skills to computer theory, focusing on computational thinking. Computational thinking is about breaking down a large problem into solvable chunks, aka problem solving. It was first introduced by Papparet. Papparet is a constructionist theorist. He believes in a child-centered approach where pupils learn by tinkering. The GCSE content has become more challenging across the board. The focus on achievement has never been more important. The standard of achievement has been raised. A good pass is equivalent to a low B or a top C. Whittaker predicts that 1 in 5 pupils who previously passed their GCSEs will no longer do so. With higher content, teachers are heading towards teaching the test and abandoning different pedagogies focused solely on getting through the content. 40 years of research show the benefits of collaborative learning. My key question is, can collaborative learning be used to raise achievement? Collaborative learning is where a group of pupils work together to either achieve the same learning outcome or a joint learning outcome. The main advocates of collaborative learning is Eric Mazur, Johnson and Kagan. Mazur has a different approach to collaborative learning. Mazur believes that pupils who have just learned the concept of the expert in the room are then able to teach others. Johnson and Kagan have a different approach. They believe that learning is synonymous. Pupils learn at the same time. The roots of collaborative learning are based in constructivism. Construction starts with Piaget. Learning is the process of reconstructing what we already know into something new. A key element of construction is the idea that pupils are active in their own learning. This is an essential component to a collaborative team. The very essence of collaborative learning is through Vygotsky's theory that language is a tool of learning. Vygotsky believed that talk was essential in learning, and by pupils working together, they can reduce the zone of proximal development. Vygotsky's famous quote is, "What children can do together today, they can do alone tomorrow." Finally, moving on to Bruner believed the role of a teacher is a facilitator. This role is adopted by the teacher in a collaborative classroom. Evidence against constructivism is built around research evidence for teacher-led learning. Educationists like Daisy Christouli and Eric Hirsch rely on the evidence-based research on cognitive memory. The leading research is led by Krishna, Swell and Clark. They demonstrate that learning relies heavily on long-term memory. They say that constructivism relies heavily on working memory and is therefore less effective. Christouli also goes on to argue that evidence shows that knowledge is not transferable. However, the research is controversial. For example, the research shows there is no difference in memory between a chess player and a non-chess player when memorizing the pieces on a chessboard. However, chess is a game of strategy and not memory. Eric Hirsch has a great influence on the recent changes in national curriculum. He believes in cultural literacy, whereby knowledge builds on knowledge. It is not surprising why the national curriculum has moved away from practical to more content-heavy. However, in my research, I couldn't find anything that supports Eric Hirsch's theory. Based on the evidence of Krishna, Swell and Clark, and on the education such as Hirsch, the previous school minister, Nick Gibbs, dismissed the child-centred approach. In 2017, he made a speech about the change in the national curriculum, citing Hirsch's approach to knowledge building of knowledge. He dismissed child-centred approaches, and particularly the work by Eric Mazur. The supporting evidence for this is from the PISA report 2015, where the most achieving countries use a teacher-led approach. However, based on the same evidence, OECD contradicts Nick Gibbs and praised this as evidence for discovery learning. There's over 40 years of research into collaborative learning. EDF conducted a meta-study of the largest of meta-studies and found an academic increase of 0.41. This increases a gain increase of 5 months. Johnson himself conducted 2 of the largest meta-studies into collaborative learning, and this showed a combined increase of 0.52. In Kagan and Kagan's book, Collaborative Learning, they have a large selection of studies. The one that shows significant gains was the Anderson County School. This was a school in decline. After adapting Kagan's approach in the classroom, they showed a significant increase of 11.945 after 2 years. This is only one study compared to the meta-studies, and there are likely to be other influences. But this shows that the impact that collaborative learning can have. What is interesting is the method by Hattie into direct instruction. Compared to the studies by Johnson and EDF, direct instruction gave a slightly higher mean value. EDF report the evidence for collaborative learning makes consistent gains in academic achievement. The evidence by Hattie's meta-study indicates that direct instruction has a slightly better gains on academic achievement. However, Kagan and Kagan don't dismiss direct instruction. In fact, they say direct instruction and collaborative learning can work well together. Kagan and Kagan look at corporate learning as part of a teacher's toolkit to help cement learning. The structures they've designed in the classroom can be implemented as an activity in the lesson. Collaborative learning does not take over the entire lesson, just one part of it. The important thing to take away from this is, as EDF said, collaborative learning is effective with the right training. 18 years ago, Johnson & Johnson set out the structures for a corporate learning group. It was later further developed by Kagan and Kagan. In corporate learning groups, all pupils are assigned a role. The teacher should set targets for both academic and social learning outcomes. During the activity, the teacher acts as a facilitator, supporting the development of both academic and group skills. At the end, there should be time for the group to reflect on how they worked well as a team. Johnson & Johnson's recommend different types of groups. However, Kagan and Kagan recommend the heterogeneous group. This is a team of mixed ability and social diversity. Kagan and Kagan emphasises that the greater the team heterogeneity, the greater the learning outcomes. My interest in collaborative learning started from the inspirational teaching workshop. As a pedagogy, I would use flipped learning to reach higher order thinking in the classroom. By researching the topic, I found out about the benefits of collaborative learning, not only on the increased gains of academic achievement, but also as a tool for higher order thinking, differentiation, inclusion, and developing social and team building skills. Through my research, I found evidence to support the theory and methods of which to apply it to my own practice. Most of the time, heterogeneous teams worked well. Pupils benefited by discussing their ideas. The only issue I had was with pupils who had communication problems. I anticipated this would be a barrier that I could either persist to see if this method improved or to try a different approach. For example, in one of my classes, I tried a team brainstorming activity where individuals wrote their own brainstorming sheets and swapped them over. Other methods I choose to use is pair work activities. I tried think, pair, share, keyword activities, brainstorming and pair puzzles. What I've noticed a difference in pupils' learning is by listening to people's discussions, I'm able to establish pupils' understanding and pick up on misconceptions. Most pupils are more engaged when talking to each other, and they enjoy bouncing off each other's ideas. I will continue developing strategies in my future practice. As a pedagogy, there are many benefits to students and the teacher. The first feedback I received from a professional mentor was, make the pupils work harder than you do. With collaborative learning, it's difficult to monitor and provide intervention on all groups, especially with large classes. But with this pedagogy, students are working hard and fully involved in their own learning.